Hello, welcome to today's Power Flow. I'm super grateful you've decided to join me with today's practice. Today we're going to be doing a relatively quick power flow, engaging through the core and also working towards some arm balances towards the end of the practice. So if you're ready for it, come to an all fours position. And we're going to start off by warming up the wrists by taking some circles around the wrists with the upper body. Moving in one direction and switching directions of your circle. And then bringing the fingertips so that they're facing towards your knees. You can sit your hips down towards your ankles to gently stretch the back of the forearm. Coming back to center, and we'll flip the back of the hand. You might want to take one hand at a time because I find this to be quite an intense wrist stretch. Swapping it out, left hand down. And back to center, walking your hands out in front, tuck your toes, and we'll go straight into a high plank. Your core muscles are engaged here. And then come high up onto the toes, push your upper body forwards, holding here. And now move into a chaturanga, lower halfway, hold 5 seconds, pushing the backs of the legs up towards the sky. I know it's hard. And on your next exhale, we'll meet in a high plank. And roll the hips back, downward facing dog. Take a moment, pedal out your dog. Bending into one knee and then the other. Pushing the chest towards the thighs. And then look towards your fingertips, come high up onto your toes, bend your knees and jump to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, exhale, forward fold. And now grabbing hold of opposite elbows, find your ragdoll fold. Take a sway side to side, feeling into the lower back and the backs of the legs. And we'll articulate through the spine, bend the knees, roll all the way up to your standing pose, palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands to the center of the chest. Inhale, arms raise up and overhead, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift with the chest, ground into the hands and jump back, high plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next in-breath, right leg lifts, 3-leg dog, bend into the knee, and as you exhale, right knee comes to right elbow. Inhale, 3-leg dog. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, 3-leg dog. Last time, right knee, right elbow. Pause and step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, finding your lizard lunge. Take some circles with the hips. Feeling into the joints. And then lower your back knee down, untuck your toes. And you can lower down to your forearms or you can stay up on your hands, whatever is in your practice. Coming back up onto the hands if you were on your forearms. We'll take a thigh stretch, reaching around with the right hand to grab a hold of the left foot. And you can either take your gaze towards the back of your mat here, or you can bring your gaze to the front of your mat and bringing your hand to the top of your left foot to really make sure that the top of the left knee is engaged with the mat. This will get a deeper stretch down the front of your thigh. Release the bind, frame your right foot, and we'll straighten the right leg, finding our half splits. Rebend into your right leg. Bring your hands to your hips. And arms come up and overhead. And we'll find a twist. Left hand comes forward, right hand spins to the back of the mat. Look towards your right fingertips. And we'll find a twist further, so release your right fingertips down towards your left calf. It's okay if it doesn't quite reach. And now framing your front foot, we'll flow it out. Step back to your plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take that to the other side. So on your next inhale, left leg lifts, three-leg dog. Bend into the knee to left elbow. Three-leg dog. Left knee to right elbow. Last time, three-leg dog. Bend into the knee to left elbow and step the left foot to the outside of the hands, finding our lizard lunge. Again, finding a few circles around the hips. And then lower your back knee down and untuck your toes. Again, you can stay high up on the hands, or you can go further by coming onto your forearms. And we'll stay here for a couple of rounds of really deep inhales and exhales, sending our breath to our hips. Begin to lift up onto the hands, and we'll take that quad stretch, bending into the right leg, reach around with the left fingertips, grab a hold of the foot. Again, you can either look forward or bring your gaze to the front of your mat. Really making sure the top of the knee is on the mat. And releasing the bind, we'll find our half splits, straightening into the left leg, bowing forward. Feeling your left leg lengthen. And now let's rebend into our left leg. Bring our hands up and overhead. Push your hips forward, really feel that stretch in your hip. And we'll find a twist, right fingertips forward, left fingertips back. And you can go further by releasing your left fingertips on the back leg. Right fingertips are now pointing towards the back of your mat. And slowly coming out, we'll frame our front foot, tuck the back toes, step back to high plank. Stay here, we're going to hold this. Putting the navel to the spine, and then push your body forward, coming high up onto the toes. And once again, we're going to chaturanga and hold. Push the backs of the thighs towards the sky, hold. Strength of the arms pushes you back up, high plank. And now we're going to open up to our side plank on our left hand, right fingertips towards the sky. Once there, we're going to find some hip dips, so lower the left hip down for 10, 9, 8, you don't need to be with my pace, 7, 6, 5, keep going, 4, 3, 2, and final one. And we're now going to find our right forearm side plank. So left fingertips towards the sky, and we're going to hold here. Pushing your left hip towards the sky, keep going. And now lower the left forearm down, we'll find our full forearm plank. Really push the backs of the legs towards the sky, navel towards the spine. And you can stay here, or you can straighten your arms for an extended high plank. And lower the forearms down, release the hips, finding your Sphinx pose. Well done. Not quite done yet, we've got the other side to go. Finding relaxation here before we move on to the other side. And lowering your head down, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck the toes, and we'll push straight back, high plank. And now side plank on your right hand, left fingertips towards the sky. 10 hip dips here, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, keep going, 5, 4, 3, 2, and final one. Well done. Left forearm down, right fingertips towards the sky. Side plank on the left side. Right hip pushes up towards the sky. Keep going. Might be a little bit shaky here, I'm definitely feeling it in my core. And let's come to our full forearm plank. Holding here. Once again, you can stay here, or you can straighten your arms for extended high plank. All this core work is getting us ready for our arm balances, which takes a lot of core strength, as well as upper body strength, of course. And let's lower the forearms down and the hips, finding our Sphinx pose. Lower your head down, hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, push all the way up, high plank, and roll the hips back, downward facing dog. Come high up onto your toes, look towards the top of your mat, and jump your way to the top of your mat, find your halfway lifts, lowering down, forward fold. Bend into the knees, roll the spine, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, swan dive, back down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Ground into the hands, and we're now going to find our crow pose. So really spread into your fingertips. Take a little bend in each finger to really grip hold of the mat. And then try and tuck your knees as close to your armpit as you can. And if possible, take flight into your crow pose. The next place we're going to meet is our chaturanga. If you can jump back, then please feel free to play around, pause the video. And we'll meet in our downward facing dog. We're going to come to a seated, so however you wish to make your way there, maybe you jump through, maybe you just come down to your bottom. So a little bit more core work here, let's find our high boat. Lower down to a hover, low boat. And we'll work through 10 of these going between high and low boats. You can keep a bend in your knees like I am here when you come to your high boat. Keep going, last 3, 2, and 1. Well done. And let's cross at the ankles and face the long edge of our mats. Extend our right leg And we're going to find a side stretch, so your left arm reaches up and over, finding some length down the side body. And release. And let's switch sides, left leg long, right arm stretches up and over, finding our side stretch. Okay, so we are going to work our way to our compass pose. So take a bend into the right leg and you're going to bring the leg as high up onto the right arm as possible. It might take a little bit of adjusting. Your right fingertips stretch long and your left hand grabs a hold of the outside of your right foot. This is where you might stay, or you can practice straightening your right leg. And just remember, yoga is a continuous practice where it can take hard work and dedication to find these poses. We're going to find our figure 8 arm balance now. So you hook your right ankle over the left and begin to lower your chest towards the earth. And you might manage to take flight here. Your legs are as straight as you can, look towards your feet and lowering down. And we're just going to find that little flow on the other side. Bending into the left leg and now bringing the shoulder underneath the knee. Bring your leg as high up onto the shoulder as you can, left fingertips long. Your right hand holds the outside of your foot and you can play around with straightening your leg. It's completely normal to have one side more flexible than the other. Your gaze is towards the sky. And now bending into the leg, we're finding our figure 4, so your left leg stays where it is. Ground into the hands, hook the left foot over the right ankle. Lift the hips and push your chest towards the floor. I find my left side a little bit more challenging, so it's okay if you're wobbling about. And lower the hips, and we'll make our way to a child's pose. Sinking the hips down towards the ankles, letting the body know it's time to slow down our practice. Round through the spine, lift the chest, tuck the toes, and we'll push the hips back, downward facing dog. Looking towards the top of your mat, bend into the knees, step or jump your way to your Malasana yogi squats. Palms come to a prayer position at the center of the chest. And before we finish our practice, we're going to find one more arm balance in our crow pose. This is your chance to play around, find your sense of playfulness. Maybe you practice finding a crane pose here, where you straighten the arms. Bring your feet as high towards your glutes as possible. If you need to take a rest, that's fine. If you fall out, that is also fine. Just come back into your crow. And if you're with me, you can try and practice doing some wrist taps with the feet. This takes a little bit of core strength. And release. Shake out the wrists and the hands. Let's lower the hips down, interlace the hands and roll the wrists. We'll find a twist. Left hand comes to the outside of the right knee, right fingertips back. Try and bring your chin in alignment with your shoulder. And let's switch sides. Right hand outside of left knee, left fingertips back. And on your exhale, unwind. We'll make our way into a comfortable seated position at the center of our mats. Close the eyes. Rest your palms on top of your knees, relaxing your facial muscles. Taking a few rounds of calming breath. Feeling the effects of this practice on your body, not just on a physical level, but on an energetic and mental level as well. Take a round of breath together to close our practice. Breathing in through the nose, fill the lungs and the heart space. Exhale, sigh it out. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis. I hope you're feeling energized and ready to continue with the rest of your day. Namaste.